Cotton, grains, and sugarcane production have storied history in the state of Louisiana. LSU Ag Center researchers, in partnership with the Patrick F. Taylor Foundation, Hardwick Planting Company, and Dugas Farm Incorporated, have teamed up to implement a series of 8 best management practices.
I'm Lisa Foltz, and I'm the soil microbiologist for the LSU Ag Center and also within the School of Plant, Environmental, and Soil Sciences. Really, part of it is just working with all of the producers that we're partnering with and all of the faculty that have lended their time to the project to make sure that we're getting the best management practices implemented that need to be in the different systems, as well as monitoring a lot of our soil health data and how these best management practices might be influencing different soil health properties.
I'm Brenda Tubana. I'm a soil fertility specialist at the School of Plant, Environmental, and Soil Sciences. And for this current project that we're working with the Patrick Taylor Foundation, my major role is to ensure that we have all these best management practices that will yield higher nutrient use efficiency for crops like sugarcane, corn, and cotton. What we're doing right now is to collectively implement best management practices with the goal of reducing those nutrients that will escape from the sugarcane field.
The hypoxic dead zone is an area in the Gulf of Mexico that spans across 6,334 square miles and is potentially unlivable for fish and bottom-dwelling species of marine life. LSU Ag Center researchers, in partnership with the Patrick F. Taylor Foundation, are exploring the effects that the row crop sector of the agriculture industry could have. Due in part to a flush of excess nutrients that come from the Mississippi River and its watershed, the hypoxic dead zone is currently an area where coastal and marine life struggle to thrive and survive. Proper application of nutrients and efficient crop management can potentially remedy the destruction of soil health and stability.
So some of the work that we're doing that is specific to cotton and grain production is really one, looking at the potential for variable seeding rates and variable nutrient application rates in the fields. And so we're working with Dr. Luciano Stierstucci and Dr. Brenda Tubana to really implement these practices that allow for the farmers to make the best use of their fields without over-applying things like nutrient applications or excess seed that they might not need, and get the best stand or yield from their fields, which is improving their economic returns on it, but it's also reducing the amount of materials that they're having to put in the system and therefore reducing what potentially could be lost from that system. One of the biggest successes that we've had from this project is just the scale of it and the ability to work with 2 well-known farmers or farmer families in the state of Louisiana, and these are a group of people that are very willing to give us their time and the use of their areas to take some of the small plot research that may or may not work and actually put it into a large farm scale operation and then utilize that area for field days.
This research is very important, particularly for Louisiana, is that the hypoxia is a national problem, and it involves a lot of states and even 2 Canadian provinces. We need to make sure we will be the one leading, or we should be the one advocating it. And just for the simple reason that we are most affected by this national problem.
There is still a lot of work that we need to be doing because there are, in the state of Louisiana, there is a wide variety of different production practices, climate areas, as well as soil types, and all of these things influence how successful these best management practices are at conserving the soil, reducing runoff and erosion, and protecting farmer yields and economic returns. And so one of the things that we would like to do is continue to build on this, build on the research component that we're doing, where we can look at these individual practices to see how they respond in different environments, and also expand this to work with other producers in different parts of the state who might be dealing with different concerns as far as how their production practices might benefit from the implementation of best management practices.
As time marches on, the necessity for agricultural sustainability is ever present. Best management practices that are environmentally progressive and financially conscious are soon to be an integral part of row crop production. By implementing on-farm practices that are backed by research, the proud legacy of generational sustainability in the state of Louisiana will live on.